Initiative. Arcanist wins the flip and let Guild go first. Guild activates his effigy and puts Fear Not the Sword on Lady Justice. Then he walks up twice. Arcanist activates his Gamin. He attempts to leap but fails, so he just takes double walk action. Guild activates Francisco and walks up to the porch and uses tactical action Cover Me. He targets Lady Justice and pushes her into the base contact with him. With his last action, he takes one more walk into the middle of the board. Arcanist activates Angelica and walks to the cobblestone road and uses her tactical action, Give them an encore, to push Johan 5 inches in any direction. Normally you need to use your practice production in the beginning of the model's activation, but the error was minor and the guild had no problem to let it pass. Angelica places one ski marker close to the Gamin. Guild activates his austringer and takes his tactical action Deliver Orders and pushes Francisco 2 inches and drops the ski marker. Arcanist activates his performer and takes a walk action. And then he successfully borrows Sandeep's tactical action As Your Deed, So Your Destiny to drop a ski marker. For her last action, she joins the others on the road. Guild activates his Witchiling stalker and takes a double walk action. Arcanist activates his effigy and also takes a double walk action. Guild activates his Watcher and flies up to the large house, then discards a card to go in defense. Arcanist activates Johan and takes a double walk action behind the trees. Guild activates his Scale of Justice and uses his tactical action twice, balance the scales, to draw one card if the opponent has more cards than you. Arcanist activates his Silent One and walks once, then he borrows Sandeep's attack action, the Mind Among the Senses, and pushes Sandeep towards her. Guild activates his Reporter and double walks. Arcanist activates Myranda and double walks. Then he uses her tactical action Shape Change and turns into a wild saber-tooth Cerberus. Guild activates the Judge and double walks. Then he uses tactical action Stand for Judgment and successfully pulls Lady Justice towards him. Arcanist activates the Sabertooth and takes a walk with him behind the circus cart. Guild activates Lady Justice and uses her tactical action Justice at the end of the blade. She discards 2 cards and names Arcanist Johan as her target. She will now get the plus flip for both attack and damage until the end of turn. And then she walks once, and thanks to her ability Blind Fighter, she ignores line of sight and targets Johan with a charge action through the forest he hides behind. First attack. Gil gets a total of 18 against Arcanist 7. Arcanist cheats up to match Gild's total of 18. Gild then cheats up to 19 for straight damage flip. Gild flips weak damage but cheats up to a severe. Johan suffers 7 points of damage with built-in critical hit trigger. Second hit. Gil gets a total of 17 against Arcanist 11. With the plus flip for damage, Gil gets a severe flip. Johan suffers another 7 points of damage and is killed. The Arcanist player draws 4 cards from his Imbued Energy upgrade. Gil puts down a head marker and draws 1 card from Fear Not the Sword condition. Arcanist activates Sandeep and summons Banasuva in front of Lady Justice with the Vision on Earth upgrade. It forces all enemy models to discard 2 cards when they do an interact action within 6 of him. However, Banasuva is unable to move. The Gamin suffers 2 points of damage due to the summon. Sandeep targets Lady Justice with some arcane storms. Arcanist gets a total of 13 against Gild's 13. Gild cheats up to a total of 14. And Arcanist cheats up to a total of 15 and uses attack trigger Mantra of Unraveling to get a plus flip in the damage. With a straight flip he gets severe. Lady Justice would take 5 points of damage, but Gild uses 1 soulstone for damage prevent. Gild flips moderate, so Lady Justice suffers just 3 points of damage. For Sandeep's last action, he shoots 1 more time at Lady Justice. Arcanist gets a total of 15 against Gild's 13. Arcanist flips a weak damage. Lady Justice suffers 2 points of damage. Then Sandeep uses 0 tactical action, as your deed, so your destiny, to make an interact action and drops a ski marker. Gild is out-activated and Arcanist activates his last model, Banasuva. With his tactical action Blessing in Flame, he borrows armor 1 from the Gamin in case Lady Justice would get a riposte attack back on him, and then he starts to attack her. Arcanist flips a total of 6 with the Black Joker and Gild gets 12. Arcanist attacks once more with Melee Expert and gets a total of 11 against Gild's 8. Gild cheats up to a total of 16 and Arcanist cheats up to match the total of 16. With the double negative flip he gets weak damage. Lady Justice would suffer 3 points of damage, but the Gild chooses to use another soulstone for damage prevention. Gild gets a severe and prevents all the free damage. In the end of the turn, Arcanist needs to remove 1 ski marker because of the practice production upgrade. Initiative. Arcanist activates Banasuva and uses tactical action Blessing in Flames to take Gamin's ability Armor, and then he attacks Lady Justice. Arcanist gets a total of 16 against Gild's 10. Gild cheats up to a total of 17 and Arcanist cheats also up to 17. With a double negative he flips weak. Lady Justice suffers 3 points of damage. Arcanist gets a total of 13 against Guild 17. The attack fails and Lady Justice will repose because she got the correct suit. Guild flips moderate. Banasuva would suffers 4 damage, but the armor he borrowed from the Wind Gamin reduces it down to 3 points of damage. Arcanist flips a total of 12 against Guild's 9. Guild cheats up to a total of 15. And Arcanist also cheats up to 15. With a double negative flip he gets weak damage. Lady Justice suffers 3 points of damage. Guild activates his effigy and takes a walk closer to Lady Justice. He then puts Fear Not the Sword condition on Lady Justice and drops a ski marker. The guild player would now have to discard 2 cards due to Banasuva's interaction aura, but it was missed for now and it will be corrected later. Guild then chain activates Lady Justice with Accomplice. Lady Justice uses 0 action Juggernaut for healing. She discards a card and then flips Severe. Lady Justice heals for 3 damage. Lady Justice used 2 action points for her acrobatic assault action and places Justice within 4 inches of her current position. Then she takes a melee attack and against the silent one. Guild gets a total of 10 against Arcanist 3 with a black joker. Guild flips a positive flip for damage and gets weak. Guild cheats up to severe. Silent one suffers 8 points of damage from double critical strike and is killed. Lady Justice heals for 1 and draws a card from her Fear Not the Sword condition. Guild places a head marker. After the attack, Lady Justice will be placed herself once more within 4 inches of her current position, and then the acrobatic assault action is done. For the last action, Lady Justice attacks the Wind Gamin. Guild flips a total of 15 against Arcanist 8. Guild flips a positive and gets severe. The Wind Gamin suffers 7 points of damage from 1 critical strike. Lady Justice heals 1 damage and draws 1 more card for her Fear Not the Sword condition. Guild gets to put down another head marker. When the Wind Gamin dies, he pushed the performer on top of the head marker. Lady Justice is now done and she have healed back up from 3 wounds up to 8 wounds. Arcanist activates his performer and attempts to borrow the interact action from Sandeep but fails. She will just use her normal action to pick up the head marker thanks to her ability Don't Mind Me. She is able to take interact actions in engagement. For her last action she reveals a scheme. She uses the interact action and puts Tail M on Lady Justice. Both players realize now that the effigy would have to discard 2 cards before to put down the scheme marker. It's solved by moving the effigy slightly so he will be outside Banasuva's aura. Guild activates his Watcher and double walks over the house. Arcanist activates Angelica and puts out a ski marker for her practice production upgrade. Then she walks once and uses her tactical action, give them an encore and push the performer 5 inches. Guild activates Scales of Justice and takes a walk action, then he draws 1 card from his tactical action. Arcanist activates his Arcane Effigy and double walks. Guild activates his austringer and uses the tactical action Deliver Orders on the judge. Unable to make interact action, he just gets pushed 2 inches. Arcanist activates Sandeep and uses Soulstone for Suit and casts his placement action, the Path to Salvation, and places himself within 6. Sandeep then attempts to summon the Wind Gamin and succeeds. He places the Wind Gamin on top of the circus stand. The new Wind Gamin gets the upgrade Visions in Wind. It forbids it to attack, but is able to take indirect actions the same turn he gets summoned. Banasuva suffers 2 damage due to the new summon. Then Sandeep attacks the Watcher with some Arcane Storms. Arcanist gets a total of 10 against Guild's 11 and it fails. Second hit. Arcanist gets a total of 18 against Guild's 10. Guild cheats up to a total of 14 to avoid a straight damage flip. Arcanist flips a negative for weak damage. Watcher suffers 2 points of damage, -1 for his armor. Guild activates Francisco. Unable to give anyone his El Mayor condition, he double walks through the forest and walks as close he can to the Arcanist player's side. Arcanist activates the new Wind Gamin and puts down the ski marker. He then attempts to leap but fails. Guild activates his Field Reporter and double walks. Arcanist activates his Sabertooth Cerberus and passes a leap flip. Sabertooth leaps towards the Witchiling Stalker and charges it. Arcanist flips a total of 8 against Guild's 14 and fails. Second hit. Arcanist flips a total of 13 against Guild's 8. Arcanist flips a straight for weak damage. He cheats up to a severe. The Witchiling Stalker suffers 6 points of damage and is killed. The Stalker explodes and causes 1 damage to her Sabertooth plus 1 burning. The Arcanist player places a head marker before the model is removed. Guild activates the Judge, and to have witnessed the Witchling Stalker devoured by a big cat, he will be the one to avenge his death. The Judge takes a charge action on the Sabertooth. Guild flips a total of 17 against Arcanist 17. With a double negative flip, he gets a weak. Sabertooth suffers 4 points of damage with critical strike trigger. Second hit. Guild flips a total of 13 against Arcanist 7. Arcanist cheats in a red joker to a total of 19 and Guild answers with a red joker of his own and put himself at 20. With the negative flips he gets moderate. Sabertooth suffers 6 points of damage with critical strike trigger and is killed. Guild places a head marker before the model is removed. In the end of the turn, Arcanist removes 1 ski marker from his practice production upgrade. Initiative. Guild activates his Brutal Effigy and walks up to the head marker and removes it. Guild discards 2 cards because of Banasuva's Interact aura. Arcanist activates the Performer and attempts to borrow Sandeep's Interact action As Your Deed, So Your Destiny and pass it. The Performer then puts tail aim on Lady Justice again. With the remaining 2 actions she walks into Lady Justice's sword range and picks up a head. Gil activates his Scale of Justice and uses tactical action twice to draw cards. Arcanist activates the Arcane Effigy and walks to the edge of the board and puts down the ski marker. Gil activates his Watcher and flies into the corner and puts down the ski marker. Arcanist activates his Wind Gamin on top of the circus stand and puts down the ski marker. He then leaps down and puts another ski marker on the porch of the house. Gil activates the Field Reporter and puts down the ski marker. Then she walks behind the trees. Arcanist activates Angelica and puts down the Practice Production ski marker up in Arcane Effigy's corner. Angelica then attacks Francisco with her projected voice. Arcanist flips a total of 10 against Gil's 8. Gil cheats up to a total of 12, and the attack fails. Angelica, worried about her safety, decides to back up with a walk action. Gil activates his austringer and uses tactical action Deliver Order to push the Field Reporter 2 inches and puts down the ski marker. Arcanist activates Banasuva. He succeeds to borrow Sandeep's placement action to Path to Salvation and place himself in the forest in the middle of the Brutal Effigy and the Reporter. Banasuva attacks the Reporter. Arcanist flips a total of 19 against Gil's 13. Gil cheats up to a total of 14 to avoid the straight damage flip. With the negative flip he gets weak. The Field Reporter suffers 3 points of damage. Second hit. Arcanist flips a total of 17 against Gil's 10. With the straight flip he gets weak. The Field Reporter suffers 3 points of damage and it's killed. Arcanist plays a head marker. With Banasuva's extra melee action he attacks the Brutal Effigy. Arcanist flips a total of 8 against Gil's 15 and the attack fails. Gil activates the Judge and walks towards the Arcane Effigy. He then attempts to push the effigy towards him with his action Stand for Judgment. Gil flips a total of 16 against Arcanist 13. The Arcane Effigy gets pushed 5 inches towards the Judge. He then takes a shot with his Peacebringer. Gil flips a total of 18 against Arcanist 14. With a negative flip he gets weak damage. Arcane Effigy suffers 3 points of damage, -1 for armor. Arcanist activates Sandeep and casts his tactical action Deformal's Mantra and gives the Performer Incorporeal until end of the next activation. Incorporeal reduces all the damage except from casting attacks with half. Sandeep then walks 1 and attacks the Watcher with his Arcane Storms. Arcanist flips a total of 11 against Gil 6. Gil cheats up to a total of 14 and the attack fails. Sandeep uses 1 soulstone to summon a Wind Gamin. The Wind Gamin gets the upgrade Vision in Flame, which blocks the model to cheat Fate but gets the ability Don't Mind Me to be able to interact when engaged. Gil activates Francisco and he had enough of Banasuva, so he declares a charge action on him. Gil flips a total of 13 against Arcanist 10. With a negative flip he gets weak. Banasuva suffers 4 points of damage with a critical strike trigger. Second hit. Gil flips a total of 14 against Arcanist 15. Gil cheats up to a total of 19. With a negative flip he gets weak. Banasuva suffers another 4 points of damage with a critical strike and is killed. Banasuva explodes and deals 1 damage and 1 burning to both Francisco and the effigy. Gil plays down the head marker. Arcanist activates his new summoned Gamin and borrows Sandeep's Arcane Storm action and attacks the Watcher. Arcanist flips a total of 15 against Gil's 8. Sadly, because of some technical issues, the footage was lost for the end of this action, but the attack hit the Watcher for weak damage and the Watcher suffered 2 damage, -1 for armor. Gil activates Lady Justice and uses her action Ashwood Coffin and attempts to bury the performer. Gil have flipped a total of 8 against Arcanist 13. Gil cheats in with a red joker and puts himself at 21 and the performer is buried. Then Lady Justice targets Sandeep and charges him. Gil flips a total of 19 against Arcanist 18. With the double negative flips, thanks to Sandeep's impossible to wound, she gets a weak damage. Sandeep suffers 4 points of damage but reduces it down to 3 with the soulstone. Second hit. Gil flips a total of 15 against Arcanist 17 and the attack fails. In the end of the turn, Arcanist removes 1 ski marker for his practice production. Initiative. Arcanist activates his Arcane Effigy and walks out to the corner again and puts down the ski marker. Gil activates his Brutal Effigy and puts down a ski marker, then he walks on top of the head marker. Arcanist activates Sandeep and takes a focus action and then attacks Lady Justice with his Gada. Arcanist flips a total of 17 against Lady Justice 12. Gil cheats up to a total of 18 and Arcanist cheats up to a 19. With a straight flip, he flips severe. Lady Justice suffers 3 points of damage and becomes paralyzed. Sandeep then targets the Gamin with his action, the Mind Among the Senses, and succeeds. The Gamin pushes himself towards Sandeep, and because of trigger, Sandeep also heals himself for 2 damage. For Sandeep's 0 action, he uses Interact action to drop a ski marker. Gil activates the Judge and takes a walk action and then puts down a ski marker. Arcanist activates Angelica and puts down a practice production ski marker close to the Arcane Effigy. Angelica then walks up once and targets the Brutal Effigy with her projected voice. Arcanist gets a total of 7 against Gil's 12 and the attack fails. Gil activates the Watcher and puts down a ski marker, then he flies behind the circus stand. Arcanist activates the Gamin and moves within the reach of the Watcher and attacks it. Arcanist flips a total of 13 against Guild's 15 and the attack fails. The Gamin uses trigger to take one more attack. Arcanist flips a total of 14 against Guild's 16 and the attack fails. Gil activates Francisco and picks up a head, and then he walks once. Arcanist activates a Gamin and walks once, and then targets Lady Justice with Talem. Gil activates his austringer and delivers orders to Francisco. He gets pushed 2 inches and puts down the ski marker. Gil activates Lady Justice and loses her paralyzed condition. Then the Arcanist performer attempts to escape her Ashwood box. Gil flips a total of 12 against Arcanist 17. Gil cheats up to a total of 20 and the performer remains in the box. In the end of the turn, the Arcanist player removes 1 ski marker for the practice production upgrade. Initiative. Arcanist activates Sandeep and attacks Lady Justice with the Arcane Storm in an attempt to finish her off. Arcanist flips a total of 12 against Guild's 17. Arcanist cheats up to 18 with trigger for plus flip on damage. Arcanist flips a straight for weak damage but cheats up with a severe. Lady Justice suffers 5 points of damage and is killed. The Arcanist player places a head marker and then the performer is released from the coffin. Arcanist places the performer on top of the head marker. With Sandeep's second action, he shoots with his Arcane Storm against the brutal effigy. Arcanist flips a total of 14 against Guild's 16 and then the attack fails. For his last action, he walks once in base contact with the head marker and uses 0 tactical action. As your deed, so your destiny, to take your interact action and picks up the head marker. Gil activates his brutal effigy and attempts to disengage with the Gamin. Gil flips a total of 19 against Arcanist 12. The effigy takes a walk action and then drops a ski marker. Arcanist activates the Arcane Effigy and takes a double walk. Gil activates his Watcher and tries to disengage against the Gamin. Gil flips a total of 10 against Arcanist 9. Then the Watcher takes 2 walk actions in an attempt to protect his ski markers. Arcanist activates a Gamin and walks up to be in range with the Watcher. Gil activates the Judge and takes a double walk. Arcanist activates a Gamin and walks on top of a head marker. Gil activates his austringer and takes deliver order on the Judge and picks up a head marker. Arcanist activates Angelica and double walks on top of Francisco's ski marker. Gil activates Francisco and tries to disengage with Angelica. Gil flips a total of 6 against Arcanist 8. Gil quickly cheats up to a 18 and walks away from Angelica to drop a ski marker. Arcanist activates his performer and uses her tactical action Seduction to blow up an enemy ski marker. She passed the flip, and normally the guild model would have to take some duels here, but both players felt like it was pointless, so Arcanist kept going with his activation. The performer then borrows Sandeep's placement action and places herself within range with the next guild ski marker and successfully blows it up too. There was nothing more any of the players could do now, so here ends the last turn.
Hello, welcome to HexBag, and today we've been watching a game with Arcanist against Guild, with exciting game. So here we have Victor playing Arcanist,
yep,
and Andreas playing Guild.
Hello.
So let's start with talking about the schemes today, and what was your consideration with the schemes. We can start with Andreas.
Yeah, the schemes were what? Talem, claim jump, of course, search the ruins, leave your mark, and frame for murder, which is woo with Guild. I love it. But knowing Victor, I know he doesn't. Well, he loves claim jump, so he always plays claim jump, kinda. So I figured he would take that. And for me, maybe I should talk about my choice of schemes first. I chose search the ruins and claim jump, and I figured that the middle would be mine, which it was, but well, I did a kind of fatal mistake. I blame rustiness, blame bad play, I don't know, whatever. And then I chose claim jump because corner and, well, guild, kill and stuff. Hence why I took the austringer, that and headhunter. And the other one was frame for murder, and with Victor's list, not really optional. Same with Talem, and leave your mark with Guild is meh. So it was kind of obvious which two schemes I would choose. Yeah, about sums it up.
So you were pretty sure about he would take the claim jump.
No, he always takes claim jump.
But did you have an idea for the second one?
I was thinking about leave your mark or Talem, considering frame for murder, hence why I took the Ashwood coffin upgrade with Lady J. In the end, I didn't really use it optimally, but more about that later. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's your ideas about today's schemes.
Yeah.
So Victor.
Yeah, as Andreas said, I really like claim jump, especially with Sandeep. He's just it's just so easy to get out some cheap activations that can stand in the corners and just drop a bunch of markers, especially if I have practice reductions as well. And then I could have had leave your mark, but I thought, or I basically could have had any of the schemes, but since Andreas had two henchmen, which would probably be in my face, I wanted to use Talem, since I already had, I think, 4 minions from the start, and Sandeep can summon a bunch of stuff, especially with the visions upgrade that I can summon on turn they come in. I pretty much had that covered, I think. So it felt like the easiest scheme.
Yeah. It's always come with a risk with frame for murder that if your opponent successfully managed to see your frame, then it's just...
Yeah, exactly. It's always a risk. I mean, sometimes it's 3 easy VP. If I would have had it on Johan, and Lee just charges in and kills him first turn, well, it's nice for me, but who knows, maybe she would have gone for something else, and you never know. Talem and claim jump felt like safer options where I had more control.
Yeah, exactly. Because frame is that kind of scheme, and you need to depend on your opponent to do it correct. But
exactly.
Talem claim is the perfect scheme, and you are in control. It's
exactly.
A pretty good board for Talem, as we I tried to find somewhere to hide Lady J in turn 3?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
But alas, no.
I had too many models in too many places, and not a big enough thing to hide behind for you.
I was thinking about some small highlights from the game.
Yep.
Like, even in corner deployment, Lady A was able to charge Johan and kill him. Turn 1.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that she can just charge him without seeing.
She don't care.
Yeah, I know.
Just
I should have remembered that and put Johan a little bit further back, but, well, that's how it goes.
At least it ended up with you having, 14 cars?
Yeah.
Yes, at the end of
What was that
Awesome.
upgrade called again?
Imbued Energies,
Yeah, so that we're able to give
Yeah.
you so many cards.
both from Johan dying and from Myranda transforming into Cerberus.
Yeah. And you did a transform in turn 1 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Myranda just ran into a corner and transformed into the Cerberus,
Yeah.
just to threaten that corner.
And from the looks of it, like for turn 2, you were able to score every both your schemes and the strategy.
Yeah, I had Lady J in the middle of my stuff, so I tailed her and put a bunch of ski markers everywhere.
Yeah.
And a head that the performer could pick up. Lady J had killed a silent one, I think, and the performer could just walk up to it and pick up the head.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to run away with Lady
Yeah.
A after that.
Yeah.
So he just did the best
I
of the
did kill
situation
the-
to.
Silent. Yeah. Yeah, no. It was a long time ago.
It was a point when you tried to calculate to see if you were able to hide anywhere on the board, like just maximize it, but it was like 2 inches off to the right to run behind the forest because you're unimpeded.
Or even 1 inch, I think.
Yeah. So you were so
close.
so close to, but
No cigar.
no cigar.
No.
Let's see. And turn 4, you got Lady A paralyzed.
Yeah,
Paralyzed or good.
since I had a visions upgrade, I could just focus and hit Lady J. I had a 13 in my hand, so melee 6 against defense 5 was pretty much guaranteed to have a straight
Yeah.
flip on the damage, unless he flipped the red joker. So I felt pretty sure about that, because then I could just leave Lady J and still do tail him on that turn. Otherwise I would have tried to kill her, but that would have been harder, and
Yeah.
then I would have had to tail him something else.
Yeah.
It was also like one turn 3, when you forgot Juggernaut, so you should have a slightly more health than maybe,
Yeah.
but
Well, I don't think, in the end, it would have mattered.
yeah,
So,
Not really.
because then in
in two attacks, I think Sandeep should be able to do, well, potentially 3, or, well, if Red Joker 4 wounds,
Yeah, I
would cast 6 against defense 5 and stuff. So.
you had one minor hiccup too when you accidentally pushed Francisco with your what's it called again?
Austringer.
Austringer, when you weren't able to hand off Mayor again,
Yeah.
Oh,
when,
yeah.
when you were in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
That's a
that
minor
would have
one.
A minor.
I did
mattered
a
anyway.
bigger
Yeah, yeah.
mistake with Lady Jane turn 2. So.
Yeah. So I was going to
Me at
ask.
work.
So if you were able to rethink your strategy and your crew list about the schemes, would you repick any scheme or crew if you?
Well, I think I wanted to judge, off the shelves for once. I should have picked Fiona, I think, and I should have remembered to use that also, which I completely forgot. It didn't really matter in the end, but that's another point. Schemes, no. Searching would have been fine if I had killed the performer in turn 2
Yeah.
instead of the freaking silent one. But you live, you learn. Scheme-wise, no. I think I chose the correct schemes. As for crew, well, if I could get my Death Marshal recruit to paint it up, I can use him. Fiona,
And then you would take away the judge for that position.
yeah, for Fiona. The recruit, I don't know. I would rework the crew a bit. Probably have one less activation.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been worth it in the end. Crew-wise, could have thrown in Abuela, but I don't know if she would fit in this.
No, I'm not
In
sure.
this, it's only basically for getting more ski markers or stuff out.
Yeah.
Could have worked, but I had the austringer for that. So.
And you, Victor, I guess you're pretty happy with your crew.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with everything in my crew. I don't think I would have changed anything there. And play-wise, I think my schemes, by the way, are also pretty much the ones I would have picked,
Yeah.
even looking back.
Yeah, I haven't played against Talem that much. So
No, I haven't played with it a lot either.
Kind of slipped my mind when I threw her into the bunch, but I don't know if
Yeah.
I would have done anything differently.
I mean,
Well, if
you would have picked me apart from range anyway.
I mean,
yeah, you can't just.
And I would have had to do something.
you don't want to stall the Lady A too, like.
No,
No, she just
No.
needs to be in there. And
Yeah, she needs to be
punching
in there.
stuff.
Like, she's not supportive in any way. She
No.
needs to be in there and put pressure and just
Yeah.
hope that she don't hit the frame. And
yeah. No, she did put pressure, but
Yeah.
But as I've been,
yeah, you did really good to take down the Arcanist activation count, because
Yeah.
you were able to.
That's what I tried to do. I should have picked other models, but I ain't better.
Yeah, the performer probably should have been killed instead of the silent one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like the ability to interact in engaged and also blow up the ski markers
Yeah.
can be a fatal one.
Seems so obvious now.
Yeah, but we live and learn.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. It's good.
Do you have anything you want to add? Anything?
I perhaps shouldn't have thrown in the Sabertooth Cerberus at the stalker over there.
Mhm.
But otherwise, I don't know if I made any huge mistakes. I thought I could live when Judge charges me, since I had the red joker on hand. But
So did I.
yep. So you managed to get 2 hits in,
Mhm.
and then he was dead.
Yep.
But at least I got Judge in the corner, and like he didn't really do much after that.
Oh,
I guess he
No.
picked up a head or two.
Nah, but I should have moved him. Should have just ignored the effigy.
Yeah. Probably.
in the corner,
And probably just go into the middle. 'Cause then I could have been there one round earlier.
like to
Done something more.
contest with the heads more, and
Yeah.
Because-
Yeah.
it was hard to do anything here with
in the middle.
her upgrade to put a ski marker and the effigy just.
Yeah, practice production is still a really good.
It's still good.
upgrade.
Yep.
Especially for claim jump.
Yes.
On
Nice.
corner.
Do you feel that the errata on the wind gamins have changed?
Yeah, the Rot and the Wind Gamins are good. I mean, they should have been nerfed. Probably the way that they were nerfed.
I think
But
that errata worked in your favor now, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have tried to kill the the wind gamut. And probably gone for the performer. So it would have saved me from doing a mistake. But
I mean, sure. But I mean, they should be killed. I think that's completely right. They shouldn't just bury and be immune to all the
Yeah.
schemes and the headhunter stuff.
But they're still good enough for you to be
Yeah,
playing.
I mean, they're still really good for 4 stones. Might be borderline too good.
Yeah.
With the, the automatic attacks, automatically 4 attacks, and the ability to leap, and yeah, they're really good scheme runners that can sometimes just put a bunch of damage by pure luck.
Well, I think that's all then. So I want to thank you for watching us another time, or for the first time, if it is your first time. Make sure to watch an earlier one. So I want to thank you guys for coming here today.
Yeah,
and have
it
a
was
great game.
thank you.
And then see you next time.